Hi, my name is Corey Gilmore, and as I mentioned in my last video, I've been a Doctor Who fan since I was 5 years old. So I have a unique perspective on things. I was also born with cerebral palsy, and that gives me a unique perspective on entertainment, which is not what this channel is usually about. But I noticed that I got some views on my last video, so thought I would do a follow-up. Now, in the first place, I want to talk about the numbering of the doctors. Because this whole idea of different doctors before the first Doctor, that is before William Hartnell, who was the first actor to play the Doctor on screen. This whole idea goes back to an episode, a story in the 70s. And the story is called The Brain of Morbius. And it's basically Frankenstein's monster pastiche. Kind of homage to Frankenstein's monster. It's a really good story. You should check it out if you're looking to be scared and slightly entertained by silly monsters. It's a good story. But in that, there is a scene where they show various people dressed up as past doctors. Okay, and nobody has ever explained this. So, that's number one. Then if we go to the Sylvester McCoy era, which is from 1987 to 89 of the classic series, he's the last television Doctor of the classic series. If we go to that, we meet a script editor called Andrew Cartmel. And Andrew Cartmel had this whole sort of master plan to reestablish and reaffirm the mystery of the Doctor. Because his philosophy, and I kind of agree with him, was that too much had been told about the Doctor, that the audience knew too much about the Doctor. So he wanted to reestablish the fact that the Doctor had a secret that we didn't know about. And there were only 3 series of 14 episodes, so 12 stories altogether for Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor. And so what this mystery was never got explained. But if you read The New Adventures and you sort of follow the book media that was going on during what's known as the Wilderness Years, you will find out that the Doctor was there at the very beginning of time travel and helped in the experiments. And that he was known as the Other. And that after the experiments took place And after Time Lords had the ability to time travel, he jumped into the Eye of Harmony, lost his memory, and he came out as William Hartnell. Now, this is not the Timeless Child, but it is sort of where it came from, right? You can see if you follow that, you can see where Chris Chibnall got the idea, right? He'd been reading New Adventures books and kind of liked the idea and wanted to make it canon. And I have no problem with that, because as always with Doctor Who canon, if you don't like it, it's okay, because you don't have to follow it. There's enough Doctor Who lore, for instance, to make it so that if you don't agree, there's another Doctor where they may not mention that, or where, there's 26 years of a classic series before the modern series ever took place that give us all kinds of backstories. So the good news is, if you're not into it, that's okay. Like, you don't have to be. We don't all have to like everything that happens, and I'm not apologizing for Chris Chibnall. I'm just explaining where the idea came from. I don't know that I agree with the idea, because I don't know that I like the idea that there are doctors before William Hartnell. I kind of like that that's the first Doctor and you go from there. But I will also point out, for those saying that the current era of Doctor Who is crap and Stephen Moffat was the last good showrunner, this adding doctors thing started with Stephen Moffat, right? It started at the 50th anniversary day of the Doctor, when we realized, started at the end of series, at the end of that series, where we realized there was another Doctor Who. Now, I like what John Hurt did, but I don't like that he's in the middle of, 8, 9, 10, and 11. I think it should have been that he was a future incarnation of the Doctor. I don't, it just, the idea that they renumber everybody is, but again, I'm not running the show, and so, but I just want to be clear where things started. That's where it started, right? It's not down to Chris Chibnall that all this stuff started. It was Stephen Moffat that started that, because he couldn't get Christopher Eccleston to come back, and he needed a Doctor in between to make that story work. And that's okay. You do what you have to do to make stories work. I understand things don't turn out the way that you always want them to. As to the episode of Flux itself, I liked episode 2, apart from Dan saying, "Oh, I sorted out the Sontarans." No, you didn't. You're a new companion to the Doctor. You don't know how to sort out Sontarans. You are brand new. And you are not, and I want to stress this, you are not the Doctor. That's the same problem I had with Ryan saying in episode 3 Rosa, saying, "Oh, I reversed the teleport, blah, blah." Dude, you're from Earth, and 5 minutes ago you didn't know what a teleport was. What do you mean you reversed the teleport? And when was this called Ryan Who? It's not called Ryan Who, it's called Doctor Who. And you are not the Doctor. Anyway, episode 3 was not as good as it could have been, but I think the problem is that we know it's episode 3 of an 8-part story, and I think that the pressure is sort of off. It's like, oh, well, it doesn't have to be that great. And that's just not true, dude. You gotta write like you really mean it. I mean, I loved the Sontarans in the last story. I thought that was really good. The only thing that let me down was the last 5 minutes where Dan and his protector say, We sorted out the Sontarans. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Jodie Whittaker, I am so looking forward to when she can do some Big Finish stories. I am so excited about that. I cannot wait until she can get some writing, because I feel like her Doctor is joyful, is high energy, is just enjoys exploring the universe. And I really want to see more of that under a different writer. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Feel free to have a different opinion. However, remember that this is America. And in America, we're allowed to disagree with each other without starting shouting matches and carrying on. At least we used to be. Thank you.